Oh man, why we gotta do it? I had to come in the living room tonight with King Aijalon the Ansubu, King Aijalon Joseph the Ansubu knocked on the door and wanted to come into the living room with TV Wahid. Can you believe it? What what you want to talk about, my brother?
Well, one, I just want to say thank you. It's been a pleasure. Your Excellency, TTYE. Every time I get together with your Majesty, truly a difference in the high priest. We always have great discussion and power. Um, and I just wanted to touch on the topic of how to change the dynamic of institutional racism by identifying what institutional racism is and what it's not.
Institutional? How do we get rid of, how do we do away with institutional racism?
Well, institutional racism has a door, and inside the door, it needs currency, or it needs energy, or it needs some money content, or it needs exchange of money, exchange of ideals. The quickest way that defeats institutional racism is when there's a need for a signature. So we sign up inside institutional racism every time we have to go to that particular door.
Mm-hmm.
What an institutional is, or institution is an apparatus uh, that guarantees, promises, or has been designed to create a result to a situation, circumstance, or a problem. An institution is an instrument in the process of using that instrument to get something accomplished, or to bring forth a solution, or to make a complaint, or to get some type of result. And now we'll give some examples. A doctor, a
Who?
county clerk, a courthouse, a grocery, a car dealership, a hospital, a schoolhouse.
I hear you.
Those are institutions.
Yes, they
Okay?
are. Yes, they are.
Those are institutions that are produced by people who have inherent.
Isn't that just like the hospitals as well? Hospitals.
I said hospital. Right? That's what the major institutions of racism.
What else is I was um homes that they put people in that have like autism or some type of birth
Medical
defect.
home, types of home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, most of them. Most of them. Most of them.
So, and the government has a lot to do with those institutions operating, don't they?
Well, the government is an institution itself. A government is the word govern means policies and procedures. Mint means mind. So when you say the word government, you need to have a clear understanding of what you're saying. A government is what makes policies and decisions on whatever the mind can create. There has to be a mind that says this is that. So the government is the mind of telling you what you can do and what you can't do, how
Right.
to do it, and not to do it. So every institution is a part of the institution within the government, and the ones that's not a part of the government policies and procedures, rules, regulations, and ordinances is considered working outside of the law of the governing mind, the controlling mind, the ruling mind. So
Right.
let's take
That
government to another level.
okay.
There is a
Wait a
group of
minute.
white men.
Let me
There's a group of
pause.
white men.
Let me pause for a minute. Okay. Okay, Nubian guys and goddesses. The Ansubu had to go get some water. So we excuse him for that. So carry on, King Aijalon the Ansubu.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
institution.
Water
You
is
were
very
talking.
important. Water is very important. And situation in Nubian gods, goddesses, emperors, the empress, kings, queens, prince, princess, warrior, warriors, high priest, high priest. Pick which one you want to be on your show. One of your greatest weapons against global white supremacy racism is water. Why? Because this is the water plant. Water is a substance that helps to clarify the pineal gland and your pituitary gland to all your organs. When all your organs are functioning at its highest level, you become institutional, right? Global institutional racism. Because the institutions of global white supremacy racism is with artificial intelligence, artificial assistance, artificial resources like money versus gold, copper, silver, iron, wood, cotton. Those are the resources that power money. Also, the reason water is so powerful, 80, more than 80% of your body is
It was water.
a
Alkaline water.
reservoir of water.
Mm-hmm.
So as you put water in your body, it causes your body to function. You have enough body thoughts. You have healthy thoughts. You have healthy thinking. If you have healthy thinking, you are allowed within your own star system to see out of natural. It takes less yoga, it takes less meditation. The body is continuously filled with water versus artificial substances. Now, let's
I
get into
also.
this of substances. You want those substances to go with your water that will alkaline your intake of water or alkaline your body.
Mm-hmm.
To alkaline your body only means to align your body to vibration. This planet Earth is habitat that produces natural for your natural body. And then we're going to start thinking about racism, majesty,
The what
privacy,
system?
majesty. Ask your question. Yes, ma'am.
I said. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say. Excuse me, but what system was that you said?
Your star system.
I think that's what you said. And so, what you said we were supposed to do with that?
I was saying we're supposed to increase our water intake, and we're supposed to put natural substances in our body. Because our body is an institution of God. Our body is a vessel of the Creator. And one of the creative things that the Creator created for this vessel is water.
Okay, I got that.
And since there's abundance of water on the planet, institutional racism is trying to destroy the water source. Now,
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it
I want to get
is.
back. Yeah, I want to get back to the first initial contract of the global white supremacy institutional racism. Is that you have to sign the paper, which is a contract. You have to have a need for some of their resources.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a need for someone resources, whether they stole it from you, they put you in a subservient position. In order to obtain those resources, you have to come in agreement with the rules and the regulations, policies, and procedures. Inside global institutional racism or domestic institutional racism, they have a judicial branch that says it is the law of dispute. Give you an example. Many executive orders that have this president has given while they were in office, some more than others, to help their agenda. Do we know what they are? No. But are they executive orders? Yes. Do we must follow them? Yes. So once they're in place, we must follow those executive orders. Now, the judicial branch
I hear you.
initiates those orders. The legislative branch come into agreement with those orders, and the executive branch execute those orders. So now we need state, institutional racism, the mitigating factors of policy, procedures, laws, and ordinances, and how they're carried into manifestation. Well, if the executive branch is to execute, to enforce those orders,
Mm-hmm.
that means the police department does not fall upon the judicial or the legislation. It falls up under the presidential branch. That's why it's always called chief in command. So now we know the military,
Sorry about that.
the reserve, the National Guard, the sheriff, the highway
Mm-hmm.
patrol,
Yep.
the police, those agencies are part of the president's cabinet. They are to enforce the rules, regulations, executive orders, and all other ordinances and orders. The legislative body is to come up with those or to remove those that are no longer serving. But the enforcement, and so they have a corporation that's called police, sheriff, highway patrol, FBI, CIA, DA. These are called departments, or they're called corporations. A department and a corporation are the same thing. Now, all corporations are not independent brands
Not.
of a
Okay.
conglomerate. So the United States government is a multifaceted corporate conglomerate which has tentacles and branches within all 50 states. So what is a state? A state is a corporation that agreed to be federated inside the United States of America under a federal system. Now we have to understand the institution of global white supremacy racism institution. What is a federal system? A federal system is the authority and the power to make each state come into agreement of certain policy and procedures to keep the power structure and the authority in the hands of those who created it and those who are architecting and engineering for social change and for social environmental impact. Well, what am I saying? Well, we know one thing that global white supremacy racism created is as an instrument of institutional racism is what they call the ghetto. Now, with the ghetto, it had to be federalized through the HUD housing. From the HUD housing, just the other state corporations have been given power to designate which portions of land will we create these ghettos. How far away from the urban areas? How far away from downtown? What would these developments look like? Will they be projects? Will they be slums? Will they be ghettos? What instruments and institutions will we allow
Exactly.
in these areas? Will we have hospitals there? Will we have liquor stores? Or will we have grocery stores? All these instruments are a part of the instrument called institutional racism.
Yes, it is.
The way you defeat it is if you do not participate with your signature, trying to get their resource, or if you do not go spend your dollar, which is the currency that you exchange paper fiats
Mm-hmm.
for, then the institution of institutional racism as an instrument cannot be used. Then they have to close down because they need you to call, they need you to put foot traffic, they need you to email, they need your energy, your currency, your frequency, your vibe to put its energy in. Now, what do black people receive when we deal with these instruments of institutional racism or the institution of racism that provide different instruments that are unkind to us? Well, we get emotional, march, protest, sing. Doing that part, institutional global racism, institutional racism will pick somebody that looks familiar to us, and they will come as an agent of institutional global white supremacy racism, institutional racism, and they will come and could be a pastor, it could be an elected official from the city or the county, state, or within the federal government, mainly from the House representative or a senator, or from one of the departments within the judicial branch, legislative branch, or executive branch. And so when they have these people come, they come with an agenda to get us within the margin that causes the growth of these institutions. So, what am I saying to my black brothers and sisters, my Nubian gods and goddesses, that there are institutions that are racist to you, that has been created by white males and females as the white family unit or the white survival kit, needs your participation in order for it to work. The police cannot police you if you do not shop at the furniture store, at the grocery store, if you do not continue to put gas in your car, if you do not purchase a car, because the funding come off of your taxes by being guys and goddesses. So, one of the easiest ways for black people, since we're all in this together, regardless of what colonial institution of imperialism, capitalistic state, is communism capitalist state? Yes, it is. It operates on money. Is socialism a capitalist state? Yes, it operates on money. Well, is democracy a capitalist state? Yes, it operates on money. So first, what we have to understand, what is communism, what is socialism, and what is democracy? Well, in a capitalist society, you have communism means commonality.
Mm-hmm.
Each level of class systems work together as a community.
Mm-hmm.
So, in America, there is communism or communitalism. The poor class, they operate within each other. The middle class, they operate as a community or communal system. And the rich, they operate as a communal system. And the wealthy, they operate as a communal system. And they say their ideals that they give to the rich. The rich job is to give it to, they call the middle class. The middle class job is to govern over the poor. The poor job is to feel better that they're not in poverty, that they're not in the tent, that they're not begging for food, or that they're not locked up in the institution.
See. I just gotta say that right there. You really broke it down. So if somebody couldn't understand that, I don't know, because you just broke down the classes and actually what's going on now. You broke it down. I mean, you broke down because I mean I've often spoke about how we have the homeless, the poor, the working poor. Then you have the wealthy, and you have the pockets of the middle class. Then you have the wealthy, and you have the wealthy, and then it's the rich, the super rich.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, one thing I would like to let the audience, our Nubian gods and goddesses, when you understand the power structure of global white supremacy, racism, institutional racism, the poor whites,
Mm-hmm.
the poor whites is the reason that there is institutional racism. The poor whites are the workers for the wealth. The poor whites are content with having a target to oppress, to depress, and to suppress as they operate these instruments of the institution of the mentality of global white supremacy racism. The mentality of global white supremacy racism instrument is called government.
I wanted to say, so what would you call I think I might have lost my question. Um, I think I did. I lost my question. Mm, it's okay.
Oh,
I'll come
it'll
back.
come back to a real melanated
Yeah,
nucleotide.
it's
And
it's it's gonna come back. You can keep talking. I can't remember what I wanted to ask. Sorry, my brother.
it's all good, TBYE.
Mhm.
This goddess right here, she's been rocking with low after mine throughout the years. And so now, if Donald Trump said they're on warp speed, now you think they're on warp speed with the vaccine. They're not on warp speed with the vaccine. They are on warp speed of tightening up the instruments of global white supremacy, institutional racism, making when you come off lockdown, everybody is going to have to find an institution to plug into in order to survive. Now, this is how you defeat global white supremacy, institutional racism. The stock market closed on Friday. It opens up on Monday. The chattel slavery this year,
Shift.
and I'm dealing with black folks, regardless of the other colors, they have economic instruments in their own environment that sustain them longer than black from needing different components of institutional racism, meaning that the Hispanic community has a mother country of Mexico, and Mexico guarantees them loans and transfer deposits into these banks. So we wonder why. Why do they get loans? Because they have matching loans from their home country. They have banking institutions that's working with the banking institution here. Saying that if you give the citizens that immigrated into the United States, that the Mexican government guarantee that they are financially willing to bag their immigrants up if you give them small business loans or from the immigration policy a start in economic empowerment. So they have a checks and balance that allows any immigrant to come over here from its host country until they can be neutralized and naturalized to become citizens. When they come over, they understand that each institution of institutional racism is made for particular environments. Particular environments mean different ethnic groups must build their own infrastructure inside the United States government because it is what they call a melting. So it's not to come over here and to live in America like the blacks. And that's why we say, go back to your country, speak English, which is the most ignorant or ignorant thing that a black person can say. Because they come over with the pride of their country, their language, their flag, and their attitude, and they come to create a colony or a community or a corridor where they can display their food, their language, their flag. That's what America is. America is three different things. It's the American dream, which is for the Europeans and the Masons and the fraternities and sororities. That means it has an instrument of not what you know, but who you know to put you in place.
Okay. Can we?
Then
Can we?
there's the Great American. Excuse me.
No problem, my brother. Go ahead. I was gonna.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, can we take a pause for the cause and come back? But I wanted you to finish that thought though.
Then you have what they call the Great American Experience. What is the Great American Experience? The Great American Experience only entails that if you are a capitalist, you can experience the opportunity to market, promote, and advertise your ideal. If you get people to purchase your ideal, you can create an economic engine that will allow you to go camping, hiking,
Mm-hmm.
flying, yachting, boating, skydiving, tasting fine foods, or travel around the world. That's called the Great American
Okay. So we're gonna.
Experience.
Are we gonna wrap this
Come
one
back,
up?
we'll talk about the Great American
Yeah,
Experience.
we got time. You got time? You got time, my brother?
You said you wanted to pause.
Yeah, for the cause. And then I was just saying, do you got time?
I'm here with you until we finish the show.
This is for real brother right here, right? Okay. We'll be right back. This is the living room. TB Wahid. King Aijalon the Ansubu.